Good evening, and welcome to our Holy Week evening service. I'm Major Lois Leal, and I'm coming to you from New Braunfels. And today the sermon is going to be about that Monday, Thursday, and what all inspired and transpired on that evening. So if you will open your Bibles to John 13, and I will be reading verses 1 through 17. If you'd like to open your Bibles to John chapter 13, I will be reading verses 1 through 17. It was just before the Passover festival. Jesus knew that the hour had come for him to leave this world and go to his Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the very end. The evening meal was in progress. The devil had already prompted Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power, and that he had come from God and was returning to God, so he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, wrapped a towel around his waist. After he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him, he came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you washing my feet?" Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." "No," said Peter, "you shall not wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash your feet, you have no part with me." Then Lord, Simon Peter replied, "Not just my feet, but my hands and my head as well." Jesus answered, "Those who have had a bath need only to wash their feet. Their whole body is clean, and you are clean, though not every one of you." For he knew who was going to betray him, and that was why he said not everyone was clean. When he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. "Do you understand what I have done for you?" he asked them. "You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also wash one another's feet. I have set an example that you should do as I have done for you. Very truly, I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them." May the Lord bless the reading of his word this evening. You know, Mundane Thursday receives its name from the command given by the Lord. A new commandment I give to you, to love one another just as I have loved you. You are also to love one another. At the Last Supper, Jesus washed his disciples' feet and commanded them to love and to serve others as he has done. This day commemorates the Lord's example of the servant's ministry, the illustration of the Lord's Supper, the agony in the Garden of Gethsemane, and the betrayal leading to his crucifixion. In the past, Jesus fulfills prophecy of washing his disciples' feet. This is more than just washing the feet and serving. His passion was to please the Father, and in doing so, he fulfilled the prophecy. as well as showed his disciples a huge object lesson in true cleaning. While his disciples did not understand the cleaning Jesus was talking about, they soon would after his crucifixion and resurrection. Jesus serves in the present. This act of service shown by Jesus in his own final hours were surprising to all, since Jesus was a rabbi. A superior rabbi should never do such an act of service for his disciples. This meant it was meant for a common servant to do. Jesus said this act is a random act of kindness, an entire life purpose, which is to show his disciples God's nature and his self-giving love. Jesus demands we serve in the future, our service of here and now. Through the foot washing service, we see Jesus. This leads to Jesus' great command to do to his disciples, to follow Jesus, to love other people, just as Jesus loved them. Acts of loving generosity are to be the hallmark of Jesus' followers, because this is what shows the world who Jesus is, and therefore who God is. We can't serve like Jesus if we do not know who Jesus is. Serving without knowing who he is, it means we are serving ourselves. And this is what we are not called to do. Love others. A life application study Bible says that being loved is the most powerful motivation in the world. Our ability to love is often shaped by our experiences of love. We can love others because he first loved us. As I close this moment with us, passion is defined as a strong and bearing, controllable emotion. The humanity shows to us from Christ was his compassion on display to show his disciples one last time what it truly meant to be a disciple and follower of God. Through Jesus, what was to become of him in the next final hours, this moment was pivotal for the disciples to see in order for them to go into the world serving God, each other, and the world as they won souls for the kingdom. They would first have to die to themselves on this mundane Thursday. What is your passion for Christ? Is it the humility and service? I hope you reflect upon Christ's passion for us. And may you be moved to a heart like his. Except I am moved with compassion, how dwelleth thy spirit in thee? In word and in deed, I know I can find this in thee. May the Lord bless you on this Holy Week.